Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. Surround yourself with the dreamers and the doers, the believers and thinkers. But most of all, surround yourself with those who see greatness within you. With this quote, I would like you children to always be in good company. Your good friends will be a good inspiration, and bad ones will lead you to destruction. This is the video part 2 of the Empowered Women Navigating the World. So we saw in the last video about the 6 crew members of the INSV Tarani and how they started their navigation to end circumnavigation to the world in 254 days. Now in this video we are going to continue with the rest of the lesson. The crew started their voyage on 10th September 2017 from Goa, flagged off by the Defence Minister of India. It was a historic day which would be marked in navigation history and globally. It covered the expedition in 5 legs with stopovers at 4 ports: Fremantle, Australia; Lyttelton, New Zealand; Port Stanley, the Falklands; and the Cape Town, South Africa, for replenishment of ration and repair as necessary before returning to Goa in April 2018. They went around the globe within 254 days and reached Goa port on 21st May 2018. The 6-member women crew broke many stereotypes during their record-setting sail. So here in this paragraph we see when the actual voyage, the traveling has started by the crew members, that is the 6 women's. That is, they started around on 10th September 2017 from Goa. And this was a very historic moment for Indians as well as for the girls who have traveled. And they had 5 different stops in between so that they just buy some food items for them and some repair if necessary in the boat. For things like that, they have stopped in 5 different places. That is one in Australia, New Zealand, Port Stanley, that is Falkland, that is one place, and South Africa. So 5 different places they had a stopover while they were going all around the world in the ocean. And they returned back into Goa in April 2018. That is on 21st May 2018. They again came back to Goa, circumnavigating the whole world in around 254 days. So it is less than a year. So while they were moving around, they broke many stereotypes. So stereotypes mean some things which people think about, badly about women. The women can't do anything. Women are very dependent on the other men's to do their work. So this type of stereotype things have been broken, like a record it has been done by these women. So in this lesson we are going to see an interview taken by media people, and all these 6 women are answering the questions for her. So before going into the lesson, let us see what the women's also have done. The first Indian solo circumnavigation was undertaken by Captain Dilip Donde from August 19, 2009 to May 19, 2010 on board around India-built vessel INSV Mahadev. The first Indian non-stop solo circumnavigation was undertaken by Colonel Abhilash Tommy Casey from November 1, 2012 to March 31st, 2013. So before the women's circumnavigated the world, the men's also have done this already. So the boat which used by the men was INSV Mahadev. So that was a boat in which the men's have traveled, circumnavigated the world, and they did it in 19 August 2009, and they came back around 19th May 2010. This was done by male members of the Navy. And then the non-stop solo navigation, that is without any halts in here. No, now these women's had 5 halts, right? But the men's without any halt just circumnavigated the whole world, and that was also done in November 1, 2012 from March 31st to 2013. So these two things were done by men's, and now this was the women's turn to prove themselves that they are no less than men. So now let us move into the lesson, the actual interview which has been taken by the interviewers. An interview with the crew members. India's all-women Navy crew who went around the world in 254 days have shared their experiences about their great voyage in an interview. Through their personal experiences, we really come to know their hardships and unpredictable challenges they have faced all through their expedition. So, whatever problems they have come across, and whatever experiences they have, the hardships, and something which they couldn't predict, they don't know what is going to happen in the next moment. So, all these things, whatever they faced, that has been shared by the crew members to the interviewer. So, the first question asked by the interviewer was, how well were you acquainted with the sailboat before you took up the task? So, the answer given was by Vartika Joshi. She was the captain of the team. None of us was acquainted with a sailboat or ocean-going boat. None of us had sailed before, nor are women officers allowed entry in combat platforms as yet. At first, it was difficult to take the boat out to sea from one point to another, but we slowly built upon it through 3 years of training. So here the question asked was, how were the task for them to travel in a boat? How was it their experience? So here she is saying that it was very difficult task. Initially, they can't just take the boat and go in the sea. It was very difficult for them, but they were being trained to do this for about 3 years. So after the 3 years of training only, they went on this voyage to circumnavigate the world. Next question asked to them was, can you tell us about the training you had undergone before this expedition? Vartika Joshi. We started with some theoretical courses on navigation, communication, and weather prediction. Classroom courses are different from sailing outside. So we were given hands-on training like how to repair things, how to deal with emergencies when the weather gets rough, if there is a medical emergency, or training was needed in tactical aspects as well. So here the next question asked was about the training. How was the training about the expedition? So the Vartika Joshi is telling that they got theoretical theory. They learned about the navigation, the theory of navigation, communication, the weather, how to predict the weather. Now as the conditions of the weather, we have to think what will happen next. So like that, they had some courses which they did, and they were just not finished with the courses, but the hands-on experience also was being given. So they were taken to the boat and they were being taught how to use the things, the applications or the mechanism which is there in the boats, how to use them also they were being taught. And in case if there is some problem in the equipments or any boat or any part of the boat, they were being trained to repair also these things and face the emergencies, any emergency which is going to come across, like medical emergency or whatever training was needed for them to circumnavigate the world. All the training was being given within 3 years. Aishwarya. We underwent our basic sail training course in Mumbai at the Indian Naval Watermanship Training Center and at various schools in the Southern Naval Base in Kochi. We even sailed in INSV Mahade to Mauritius in 2016 and 2017 and back, and also to Cape Town in December 2016. We were trained for almost 3 years to prepare for the voyage. Since the boat was old, it had minor leaks and repairs. Also, we ran out of water and food soon. So, the trip was a tutorial for us on how to manage food, water, and even electricity during the big voyage. So here Aishwarya is just sharing her experience how they were all trained. So the training was first being given in Mumbai, then they were being trained in the naval base in Kochi also. And for hands-on training, they were being taken in INSV Mahade to Mauritius. So in 2016 and 2017, they were taken to Mauritius, and once in a while they were taken to Cape Town, that is in Africa. So in December 2016, they were taken to Cape Town also, and with this, 3 years of training, they were being so well trained that they were able to manage. And while they were traveling, when they were traveling to Mauritius, when they were traveling to Cape Town, they were able to find out what are the problems they're going to face, like running short of the water or the food supply, or the how to control the and manage the electricity which is available. So whatever things are available, how to manage them, they learned from this experience of traveling to Mauritius and Cape Town. The next question given was, what was the selection process? Aishwarya: out of the 30 women who had applied, 6 of us were shortlisted based on the little survival skills we showcased. The crew was mentored to Commander Dilip Donde, but after I was told about the flare-ups at sea, I even had second thoughts about joining the team. So here Aishwarya is telling that 30 women had applied for this. So out of them, only 6 were being selected. So after the selection is over, they were just told the experience, what they have to actually been doing, and how they have to do it all. So when everything was being told to them, and how the sea will be, and what are the problems they'll overcome at the sea, so when all these was being told to them, Aishwarya was just having a second thought whether they have to go, or whether they have to take up, or they should just quit and go away. So the thought was there in different minds, each one had a different thought. So the next question, how did your family members react when you told them about this expedition? Vartika Joshi: our families did have a hard time, but that was because most of them had never ever seen the sea. 4 of us are from the mountains. The first time my parents saw the ocean was when I invited them to visit, but once they saw that we are doing well and looking after ourselves, they were quite supportive. They were apprehensive and supportive too. So here they were talking about how the family members reacted to their thoughts of going in an expedition. So here the families, where it was very difficult, she's telling that it was very difficult for the families to accept what we're doing, because some of the parents, like 4 of the members' parents, were from the mountains, so they have not seen the ocean at all. So they just first time, they have come and they have visited the ocean. So once they visited first, initially they had some problems, then later when they saw that the women were able to do their work, they were happy and they all supported them. The next question was, what were your aims and how did you work to achieve them? Vartika Joshi: I wanted to make sure that I complete this journey with ultimate honesty. I didn't set out for a destination, it was the journey that mattered to me the most. So my contention was to make sure that we go by the rules of the circumnavigation, which say that you don't have to use any auxiliary means of repulsion, and you don't have to take anybody else's assistance. I grasped that completely. So what was the aim that they had during this expedition, was the question asked to them. So for this she told, the only motivation they had, only thought they had in their mind was that they have to circumnavigate the world. That's it. No, they didn't think about how they are going to do it and how it is going to matter them. They didn't think about it. They just want to complete their navigation in around auxiliary means without using any extraordinary things which are there in the. They want to follow the perfect rules they have been laid down for them. Okay, so they are going in an eco-friendly board, so they want to follow it completely. The next question given to them was, name that one quality of yours that enabled you to complete this expedition successfully. Vartika Joshi. Whenever the winds dropped, it would have taken me even a fraction of a second to switch on the engine and say, let's go 1 mile ahead. But instead of me, something poked me and said that you have to be honest with yourself, and this expedition has to be done with honesty. I am glad that we were able to finish it successfully without the use of engine at all. So that's what here they were talking about, that they wanted to complete this expedition in a perfect honesty. So if they wanted, they in the sea, in the deep sea, who's going to watch them? If they want, they can start the engine also and they could have traveled. But then they want to prove themselves, no, not for others, for themselves. Okay, so before we want to prove ourselves to others, we must be honest to ourselves first. So they did this with a great honesty. The next question is, as the head of the crew, how did you involve the team? Vartika Joshi. We have all sailed and trained the same amount, and everybody has their own way of dealing with situations, but that was a good thing because we could discuss different ways of solving a problem and choose the best one. In fact, I would say it was easier for us to collaborate and work together. So here they were talking about the teamwork. So instead of going alone and solving out things by themselves, so Vartika is telling that doing everything in a team was really very good, that because each one will have a different idea to solve a problem, and they just chose the best one and they work around it so to get it successfully completed. So with this, we have come to the end of the part 2. I will continue the lesson in the next video. Thank you, children. Have a nice day.